Hello, and welcome to Super English Talks. This is the channel where you can improve your English while also learning something useful for your life. I'm really happy that you are here with me today. My name is Jara, and in this podcast, I will help you practice listening and speaking in English. At the same time, I will share ideas that can help you grow, learn, and live better. So, if you want to get better at English and also learn something new for your life, you're in the right place. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's topic is very special. It is not something loud or famous. It is actually very quiet, but also very powerful. The name of today's topic is the quiet power of deep work. Now, maybe you're asking yourself, what is deep work? Don't worry. I will explain everything step by step in very simple words. I will also give you clear examples, so it will be easy to understand. Why are we talking about deep work? Today, many people are always busy. They are always looking at their phones, checking messages, scrolling through social media, or jumping from one small task to another. The world around us is full of noise. Because of that, it is very hard to focus. It is very hard to sit quietly and give all of your attention to just one thing. But when we do that, when we give something our full attention, we can do amazing things. We can learn faster. We can work better. We can feel calmer and more relaxed. This is the power of deep work. Deep work helps you become a better student, a better worker, and even a better English learner. Yes, that's right. If you want to learn English faster, understand it deeper, and remember more, then you need to know how to use deep work. That is why this topic is so useful for you. What is deep work? Let's start with a simple question. What does deep work mean? Deep work means working with full focus. It means giving all of your attention to one task and avoiding all distractions. When you are doing deep work, you are not checking your phone. You are not answering messages. You are not watching videos while working. You are just doing one important thing, and you are giving it your full energy. Example of deep work. Let me give you an easy example. Imagine you are preparing for an English test. You sit down at your desk. You put your phone away. You close all websites on your computer that are not related to studying. You take your book or notebook and you study only for 30 or 40 minutes without stopping. That is deep work. Your mind is only thinking about one thing, studying for your English test. You are not jumping from one task to another. You are not thinking about other problems. You are just focused. Why is deep work powerful? Deep work is powerful because it helps you use your brain at its best. When you focus, you can learn more in less time, do higher quality work, feel proud and satisfied with your progress. For example, if you practice English with deep focus every day, even for just 30 minutes, you will improve much faster than if you study while checking your phone or watching TV at the same time. Why is deep work difficult? If deep work is so good, why don't we do it all the time? The answer is simple: distractions. Our phones, notifications, messages, and the internet are always pulling our attention away. Our brains also like easy things like scrolling or watching short videos because they feel fun and fast. That's why deep work feels difficult. It's not always fun in the beginning, but the results are worth it. How can we practice deep work? Don't worry, deep work is not impossible. You can practice it with small, simple steps. Choose one important task. For example, reading a book, writing an essay, or practicing English speaking. Set a short time. Start with 20 or 30 minutes. You don't need to study for hours. Remove distractions. Put your phone in another room. Close websites you don't need. Focus fully. Give your full attention to the task. Take a short break. After your session, relax for 5 minutes. If you do this every day, even just a little, you will see big progress. Closing. So, my friend, deep work is quiet but very powerful. It helps you learn faster, work better, and live calmer. And most importantly, it can help you improve your English in a deeper and more effective way. In the next part of this podcast, we will look at the difference between deep work and shallow work. We will see why one helps you grow and the other wastes your time. But for now, I want you to remember one simple idea. When you give your full focus to something, you can do amazing things. So, are you ready to practice the quiet power of deep work? Let's continue this journey together. When you are fully present in your work, something amazing happens. You do better work and you do it in less time. Your brain starts working like a laser. It focuses only on the task in front of you. You understand things more deeply. You remember them better. And after you finish, you feel good inside because you know you did something meaningful. This is the gift of deep work. What about shallow work? Now, let's talk about something very different, shallow work. Shallow work is the opposite of deep work. It means doing simple and easy tasks that don't need much brain power. It also means trying to work while being distracted. Maybe you're replying to emails, checking social media, listening to music, and at the same time, trying to study. You are working, but your mind is not really there. This is not deep work. This is shallow work. Example of shallow work. Let's imagine you are studying English. But while you are studying, you are also texting your friends, watching TV, and checking your phone every 5 minutes. Are you busy? Yes. But are you really learning? No. Your brain is jumping from one thing to another. You are doing many things, but you are not going deep. You are busy, but not productive. Our world is full of shallow work. We live in a world where shallow work is everywhere. Notifications, messages, emails, videos, they surround us all the time. They pull our attention away from important things. That is why deep work is so powerful, because not many people are doing it today. If you can learn how to do deep work, you will be different. You will be more focused, more creative, and more successful. Not only in your studies, but also in your work and in your life. More examples of deep work. Let's look at a few examples to make this idea even clearer. Example 1. The writer. Think about a writer who is working on a book. The writer closes the door, puts the phone on airplane mode, and writes for 2 or 3 hours without stopping. That is deep work. The writer is focused. The ideas are clear. The words come faster. And after a few hours, a big part of the book is finished. Example 2. The student. Now imagine a student who is preparing for an exam. She goes to a quiet room. She puts on headphones, but with no music, just silence. She opens her book and studies for 1 full hour without checking her phone. That is also deep work. Example 3. You learning English. And here's one more example. You, right now, learning English. If you listen to this podcast with full focus, without doing other things, that is deep work. If you pause, repeat after me, and speak the sentences out loud, you are practicing deep work. Your learning will be stronger and deeper. But if you listen while scrolling through your phone or talking to someone else, your progress will be much slower. Deep work versus shallow work. So remember this. Deep work is like going to the gym for your brain. Every time you practice it, your brain becomes stronger. You learn faster. You do better work. Shallow work, on the other hand, is like walking slowly while looking at your phone. Yes, you are moving, but you are not really going anywhere. To do great things, you don't need to be a genius. You just need to learn how to focus. That is what deep work teaches us. It teaches us to give our best attention to one important task. And when we do that, amazing things can happen. In the next part of this episode, we will explore even more deeply. Why is deep work so powerful? And how can it really change your life? So stay with me. Why is deep work powerful? Now that we understand what deep work is, let's ask an important question. Why is it so powerful? You might be thinking, okay, deep work means focusing and not getting distracted. But why is that such a big deal? The answer is simple. Deep work makes you better at whatever you do. It helps you learn faster. It helps you think more clearly. It helps you finish your work with better results. And it also helps you feel calm, happy, and proud of your progress. Let's break this down into 3 big benefits. 1. Better focus. The first benefit of deep work is better focus. When you practice deep work, you train your brain to concentrate on one thing. This is a very important skill, but sadly, many people in today's world have lost it. Think about it. How many people can sit quietly and focus for just 10 minutes? It's difficult, right? We are used to checking our phones every few minutes. We jump from app to app, video to video, and our brain gets tired. But deep work is different. It strengthens your brain. It helps you stay focused for longer. And the more you practice, the stronger your focus becomes. When you can focus, you can do great work in less time. 2. Better results. The second benefit of deep work is better results. When you give your full attention to a task, your work naturally improves. You make fewer mistakes. Your ideas are clearer. You understand things more deeply. For example, let's say you are learning English. If you study for just 30 minutes with full focus, listening to a podcast, repeating the words, writing notes, you will learn much more than someone who studies for 2 hours while checking their phone and watching videos at the same time. Deep work saves you time, and it gives you more value. 3. Less stress. The third benefit of deep work is something many people don't expect: less stress. Yes, that's right. Deep work can actually make you feel calmer and more peaceful. Why? Because when you work deeply, you finish your important tasks. You don't waste time. You don't feel guilty later. You don't say, "Oh no, I spent the whole day doing nothing useful." Instead, you feel good. You feel proud because you know you used your time well. And when your work is done, you can rest without stress. Real-life examples. Let's look at some real-life stories to make this clearer. Example 1. Sarah the student. Sarah has an exam in 2 weeks. Before, she used to study while watching videos, talking to friends, and checking social media. She always felt tired. She never finished her work. Then she decided to try deep work. Now, every day, she studies in a quiet room for 1 hour with full focus. No phone. No distractions. And the results? She understands her lessons better. She finishes her homework on time. She feels more confident and less stressed. Deep work completely changed the way Sarah studies. Example 2. David the writer. David wants to write a book, but he always feels stuck. He says, "I don't have enough time." But the truth is, he gets distracted a lot. One day, David decides to try deep work. Every morning, he writes for 2 hours with full focus. He turns off his phone and writes without stopping. And the result? After just 1 month, he finishes 5 chapters. His ideas are strong and clear. He feels motivated and excited again. Deep work helped him do something he once thought was impossible. Example 3. Ahmed the worker. Ahmed works in an office. Every day, he receives many emails and messages. He used to reply to everything quickly, trying to be busy all the time. But his important projects were always late. He was busy, but not productive. Then Ahmed tried deep work. He made a simple plan, 1 hour every morning for deep work. During that hour, he closed his email. He turned off notifications. He worked only on his most important project. After a few weeks, Ahmed noticed a big change. His projects started to finish on time. His quality of work improved. He felt less stressed and more in control of his day. Deep work didn't just make him a better worker, it made him a calmer, happier person. Closing. So now you can see why deep work is so powerful. It gives you stronger focus. It helps you get better results. And it makes your life less stressful. Why is deep work difficult today? Now that we know what deep work is and why it is so powerful, let's ask a big question. If deep work is so helpful, why don't more people do it? Why is it so hard to focus and work deeply in today's world? The answer is simple, but also very serious. Our world is full of distractions. Every single day, we are surrounded by things that steal our attention. It is not because we are lazy. It is because we are living in a noisy world. Deep work is difficult today because we are always connected to things that pull us in many different directions. Distraction number 1, our phones. Let's start with one of the biggest distractions, our phones. Most people check their phones many, many times a day. Sometimes even hundreds of times without thinking. We get messages, notifications, emails, videos, news, and updates all the time. And here's something interesting. Even when we are not using the phone, just seeing it on the table can make our brain less focused. It's like our attention is waiting for something to pop up. We are always ready to answer or reply, so we never go deep into our work. Distraction number 2, social media. Social media is another huge distraction. Apps like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube are designed to keep us scrolling. Every video is short and exciting. Every picture or post gives our brain a little reward, a small, happy feeling. This makes it very hard for our brain to enjoy quiet, focused work. Why? Because deep work feels slow and social media feels fast. Our brain starts to prefer the fast feeling more and more. And that makes deep work feel difficult or even boring. Distraction number 3, daily interruptions. And it's not just phones or social media. Even at school, at work, or at home, there are many things that break our focus. We get emails. We get calls. We get people asking for help or for just a minute of our time. At work or in school, we are often expected to move from one task to another very quickly. This is called multitasking, trying to do many things at once. Why multitasking is a problem? Many people think multitasking makes them productive. But the truth is, multitasking is the enemy of deep work. Every time we switch from one task to another, our brain becomes a little bit tired. It uses energy to stop one thing and start another. That's why sometimes, even after working all day, we feel like we didn't really finish anything important. We were busy, but we were not focused. Closing. So, now we understand, deep work is difficult today because of distractions. Our phones, social media, constant interruptions, and the habit of multitasking. But here's the good news. You don't need to live like that forever. There are simple ways to reduce distractions and bring more focus into your life. How to practice deep work. So now we understand what deep work is, why it's powerful, and why it feels so difficult in today's world. But here's the good news. You can train yourself to do deep work, even if it feels hard at first. Think of it like learning English, playing the piano, or exercising at the gym. At first, It feels uncomfortable and tiring. But little by little, with practice, you get stronger. Deep work is the same. It's a skill. And like any skill, you don't need to be perfect on the first day. You just need to start small and stay consistent. Many people think they need to focus for hours to succeed. But that's not true. Even 20 or 30 minutes of real focus can be more powerful than a whole day of half-focused work. What matters most is not the length of time, but the quality of your focus. So in this part, I'm going to share some simple and practical tips you can use to start building the habit of deep work in your daily life. These tips are easy to try, even if you're very busy. And the more you practice, the easier it will become. Are you ready? Let's begin. How to practice deep work in daily life. Now let's talk about some very simple and practical tips you can use to start practicing deep work in your daily life. These tips are not complicated. They are easy to try, and anyone can follow them, even if you are very busy or even if you think you can't focus for long. The goal here is not to be perfect. The goal is just to start. Let's go through them one by one. Tip 1. Turn off your phone. This may sound simple, but it is one of the most powerful things you can do. Your phone is the #1 source of distraction. Most of us check our phones all day long. Sometimes we check them because we are bored. Sometimes we check them when we are tired. And many times, we check them even when there is no real reason. The phone has trained our brain to expect something new every few minutes. If you want to do deep work, your phone must not control your time. When you sit down to study, work, or learn something new, put your phone on silent mode. Even better, turn it off completely. If possible, place it in another room so you cannot see it or hear it. When your phone is not near you, your mind feels calmer. You don't feel the need to check it all the time. And you will be surprised at how much you can do when your attention is not pulled away every few minutes. Tip 2. Choose a quiet place. The place where you work is very important. If there is too much noise or movement around you, your brain cannot focus. For example, if people are talking near you, or if music with lyrics is playing, part of your brain will keep listening to the words. You will not be fully focused on your task. That's why it helps to find a quiet and simple place. It could be your bedroom, a quiet corner in your home, or a library. You don't need a perfect office or a big desk. You just need a place where you can sit quietly with your work. When your environment is calm, your mind becomes calm too. Tip 3. Work in short sessions. Deep work does not mean working for 5 hours straight without moving. That is not realistic, especially in the beginning. A better way is to work in short, focused sessions. Start with just 20 minutes. In those 20 minutes, do only one thing. Don't check your phone. Don't open other tabs. Don't talk to anyone. Just focus on the task. After 20 minutes, take a short break. Then, if you feel ready, do another 20 minutes. Over time, your brain will get stronger, and you will be able to focus for longer periods. But in the beginning, short sessions are perfect. Remember, the key is not to be busy for many hours. The key is to be truly focused, even for a short time. Tip 4. Take real breaks. Your brain needs rest after deep work. If you push yourself too hard, your focus will go down, and you will feel tired. That's why it is important to take breaks. After one deep work session, give yourself 5 or 10 minutes to rest. Get up from your chair. Stretch your body. Drink some water. Look outside the window. You can even go for a short walk. But here is something very important. During your break, do not go straight back to social media or videos. That will make your brain too active again. Try to give your mind real rest. When you return to your work after this kind of break, you will feel fresh and ready. Tip 5. Set small, clear goals. If you sit down and say, "I will study English today," that is too big and too unclear. Your brain does not know what to do first. But if you set a small and specific goal, your brain can focus much better. For example, you can say, "I will listen to this podcast and write down 5 new words." Or, "I will read one short article and repeat all the new sentences." These small goals are easier to follow, and when you complete them, you feel good. That feeling of success gives you energy to keep going. Let's put it all together with an example. Imagine you want to study English using deep work. First, you go to a quiet room. You turn off your phone and put it in another room. Then you decide to work for 25 minutes. You set a small goal. "I will listen to one part of this podcast and repeat every sentence out loud." You sit down and you do it. For 25 minutes, you give all your attention to this one goal. When the time is up, you stop. You take a 5-minute break. You stretch, you drink some water, and you rest. Then you feel good because you actually completed your goal. You didn't waste time. You didn't feel stressed. You did deep work. And the best part? You can use this same process for anything, not just for studying English. You can use it for reading, writing, learning a new skill, or finishing a task at work. Deep work is not about being perfect. It is about creating small moments of focus in a world full of noise. If you practice these tips every day, even for a short time, you will see a big difference in your learning, your work, and your life. Daily life examples of deep work. Now that you know what deep work is, why it's powerful, and how to practice it, let's look at some real-life examples. These stories will show you how deep work can actually fit into daily life. And remember, you don't need to be a genius, a scientist, or a famous writer to use deep work. Deep work is for everyone. Students, office workers, writers, or even people learning English, anyone can use it to learn faster, finish tasks with less stress, and feel more confident. Let's begin with the story of a student. Story 1. Maya, the student. Maya is 18 years old and studying at university. She wants to do well in her exams, but like many students today, she struggles to focus. Every time she sits down to study, her phone makes a sound, a message, a notification, or a social media update. She opens it just for a second, but then ends up scrolling for 20 minutes. She feels busy all day, but at the end of the evening, she hasn't finished much. She feels tired, guilty, and stressed. One day, Maya hears about deep work and decides to give it a try. She makes a simple plan. She chooses a quiet room in her house, away from distractions. She turns off her phone and puts it in a drawer where she can't see it. Then she sets a timer for 30 minutes. Her small goal: read one chapter from her textbook and write a short summary in her notebook. At first, it feels strange. Her brain wants to wander. She feels the urge to check her phone or think about other things. But she keeps bringing her attention back to the book. Minute by minute, she stays with the work. After 30 minutes, the timer rings. She has completed her goal. She feels proud because she finally studied without interruptions. She takes a short break, stretches, drinks some water, and then starts another deep work session. Day by day, she repeats this process. After just 1 week, she notices a big difference. She understands her subjects better. She finishes assignments faster. She feels calmer because she knows she is actually learning. Slowly, her grades improve, not because she studied longer hours, but because she studied deeper. Story 2. Carlos, the office worker. Now let's move to someone with a job. Carlos works as a graphic designer in an office. He enjoys his work, but every day feels chaotic. His email inbox is full. His phone keeps ringing. His coworkers send him constant messages. He spends hours replying to small requests, but his big creative projects always get delayed. By the end of the day, he feels exhausted, but also frustrated because he didn't move forward on the most important work. One day, Carlos hears about deep work. He decides to change his routine. Instead of reacting to emails all day, he sets aside 1 hour every morning for deep work. He tells his coworkers that during this time, he will not reply to messages. He closes his email, puts his phone on silent, and works only on his most important project. At first, it feels unusual. He worries that he might miss something urgent. But soon he realizes nothing terrible happens. Most emails can wait 1 hour. And in that one focused hour, Carlos makes more progress than he used to make in an entire afternoon. After just 1 week, Carlos notices the results. His projects move forward. His designs improve because he has more time to think deeply about them. His boss notices the difference too, praising his high-quality work. Carlos feels more confident and less stressed. He no longer stays late at the office because his deep work sessions help him finish on time. Story 3. Emma, the English learner. Finally, let's look at someone learning English. Emma is 25 years old and wants to improve her speaking skills. She has been studying English for 2 years, but she feels stuck. She watches YouTube videos, scrolls through English learning apps, and sometimes practices with friends, but she never feels real progress. She is busy, but she doesn't feel effective. One day, Emma decides to try deep work. She makes a clear plan. Every evening, she will spend 25 minutes in a quiet space practicing English with full focus. She turns off her phone, closes other apps, and sets a small goal. Listen to one podcast episode and repeat every sentence out loud. For the first few days, it feels challenging. She wants to check her phone or do something easier. But she stays with the task. Slowly, she notices that her pronunciation is improving. She remembers more new words because she is not distracted. After 2 weeks, she feels more confident speaking with others. She realizes that just one deep work session each day is more effective than spending hours half studying while multitasking. As you can see from these examples, deep work can change the way you study, work, or learn. It doesn't matter if you're a student like Maya, an office worker like Carlos, or an English learner like Emma. Deep work gives you focus, progress, and peace of mind. It's not about doing more things. It's about doing the right things with your full attention. And that is why even 1 hour of deep work each day can slowly change your life. We've now reached the last part of this episode. Before we finish, let's take a moment to look back at everything we've learned together. First, we talked about what deep work is. Deep work means giving your full attention to one important task. No distractions, no phone, no multitasking. Just you and your work. This kind of focus helps you do better work, understand things more clearly, and learn faster. Then, we compared it with shallow work. Shallow work is when you are busy, but not really focused. You check your phone, reply to messages, scroll through social media, or switch between tasks. It feels like work, but the results are small. Shallow work keeps you busy, while deep work helps you grow. Next, we learned why deep work is powerful. It gives you better focus, better results, and even less stress. When you practice deep work, you finish your important tasks, and that makes you feel calm and proud of yourself. We also looked at why deep work is difficult today. Our phones, social media, emails, and constant notifications pull our attention in many directions. On top of that, our brain gets tired quickly and wants easy, fast rewards. That's why focusing deeply feels uncomfortable at first. But just like exercise, the more you train, the stronger your brain becomes. After that, we explored how to practice deep work. Remember the 5 simple steps. Turn off your phone. Find a quiet place. Work in short sessions. Take short breaks. Set small, clear goals. These steps are simple, but they can change the way you study, work, or learn. Finally, we looked at real-life examples. Maya, the student, learned more in less time. Carlos, the office worker, finished projects faster and felt less stress. And Amina, the English learner, became more confident and made progress by studying just 25 minutes a day with full focus. These stories show one clear truth. You don't need to work longer, you just need to work deeper. A small challenge for you. Before we finish, I want to leave you with a small challenge. This week, choose one deep work session each day. It doesn't need to be long. Just 20 or 25 minutes is enough. Turn off your phone, find a quiet place, set a small goal, and give your full attention to it. Do this for 7 days. At the end of the week, look back and see how you feel. I promise you will notice a difference. You will feel calmer, more focused, and proud of the progress you've made. Closing. So remember, deep work is not about being perfect. It's about trying one step at a time. Every time you bring your focus back, you are training your brain. And that is how real growth happens slowly but surely. Deep work, on the other hand, helps you grow. We learned that it makes you focus better, get better results, and feel less stress. When you do deep work, your brain becomes stronger, your learning becomes deeper, and you feel proud of what you've done. Even just 30 minutes of deep work a day can bring real progress in your life, whether you're studying, working, or learning English. But we also saw why deep work feels difficult today. Our world is full of distractions. Phones, messages, social media, they constantly pull our attention away. And our brains have become used to quick entertainment and short tasks. That's why deep work feels hard. But it's not impossible. It just takes a little practice, and it gets easier with time. We also talked about how to practice deep work in daily life. You don't need hours and hours. You can start small. Turn off your phone. Find a quiet place. Work in short sessions, like 25 or 30 minutes. Take breaks. Set small goals. These simple steps can help you build the deep work habit. Anyone can do them, even if you're busy or just starting out. And we looked at real-life examples, a student, a worker, and an English learner. They didn't work longer. They worked smarter. They gave their full attention to one thing at a time. And because of that, they learned more, finished their tasks, and felt proud of themselves. Now I want to speak directly to you, the person listening right now. Deep work is not only for smart people, busy professionals, or top students. It is for everyone. It is for you. And you've already taken the first step by listening to this episode with focus and curiosity. That is deep work in action. So here's my challenge for you. This week, choose one task. Maybe it's studying English, writing something, or reading a book. Do it with full attention for just 25 minutes. No phone, no noise, no multitasking. Just one task, one goal, and your full focus. At first, it might feel boring or difficult. That's okay. Stay with it. Your brain is learning. And with time, it will feel more natural. You can even make it fun. Set a timer, write down your goal, reward yourself after the session, and track your progress. Notice how much better you feel when you finish a task with deep focus. And if you get distracted, don't worry. Just start again. Every try makes your mind stronger. The truth is, in today's world, deep work is rare. And because it's rare, it's valuable. If you learn this skill, you will stand out. You'll move forward while others stay busy with shallow work. You'll find calm in the middle of noise. And you'll feel proud because you're not wasting your time, you're using it to grow. So, as we end this episode, remember this. Deep work is quiet, but powerful. It doesn't just change what you do. It changes who you are. One focused session at a time. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. I hope you found this episode helpful and easy to understand. More than just new words, I hope it gave you a new idea, a new way to work, and maybe even a new habit that can help you grow in your life. Before we finish, let me remind you of something important. Don't just listen, speak. Speaking is one of the best ways to make your English stronger. You can pause this episode and repeat after me. You can practice saying some of the sentences out loud. You can even explain what you learned today to a friend or simply to yourself. The more you speak, the more confident you will feel. Remember, your voice is a tool. Use it. Don't worry about mistakes. Mistakes are a natural part of learning. Just open your mouth and say the words. Even if it feels strange at first, keep going. Over time, speaking will feel smoother, easier, and more natural. And of course, this is not the end. This is just one episode, and there's more to come. In the next episode of Super English Talks, we'll explore another topic that will help you not only improve your English, but also learn something useful for your life. So, I invite you to join me again. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep growing with each episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone who might find it helpful, maybe a friend who is also learning English, a classmate, or someone who needs help focusing and working better. Learning is always more powerful when we do it together. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Until then, stay focused, stay curious, and keep Super English Talks. Bye for now.